Hey, boys and girls. Today we are going to be working on subtracting with renaming. So if you want to follow along in your book, it's on 429. So here, let's take a look at the problem. It says Ramon, Chandler, and Chase go bike riding on weekends. On one weekend, Chase rode his bike for 3 hours. So Chase rode his bike for 3 hours. Chandler rode his bike for 2 1/4 hours. 2 1/4 hours. And Ramon rode his bike for 1 3/4 hours. How much longer did Chandler ride his bike than Ramon? Okay, so how much longer did Chandler ride his bike, than Ramon did? Now, do we have information here that we don't need? Yeah, sorry, Chase. We're only looking at Ramon and Chandler because the question's asking us how much longer did Chandler ride than Ramon? Now, you could use a model, okay? And I drew out a model behind me that is the same model in your book, just a little bit easier for us to see and for me to do. Okay, so it said that Chandler is the one who did 2 1/4 hour. And Ramon did 1 3/4 hour. So for the C is for Chandler and the R is for Ramon. And notice my number line here, okay? We're talking fourths. So we have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. And then I changed it to 1 whole because 4/4 is 1 whole, right? And then 1 1/4, 1 2/4, 1 3/4, 2, because 1 4/4 would be 1 whole plus 4/4 is a whole. So that would be 2. And then so on till 3 hours. Okay. Okay. So Chandler, he did 2 1/4 hours. So I'm going to shade. So that's how much Chandler did. And then Ramon did 1 3/4. So he did it to here. So I'm going to shade that much. When in doubt, draw it out. Now, the question's asking how much longer did Chandler go than Ramon? So we could think about these pieces here is the difference. So and we're talking fourths. So I broke everything up into fourths. So that's like 1/4, 2/4. Okay. So 2/4 is the difference. Now, the other way we could do that would be actually subtracting it out. Okay. Go down here and do that. Okay. So we have. Let's see if the other page does that. They do it differently here. We'll go to the next page, 430. And I'm going to show you 2 different ways that you can subtract. One way I think is a little easier than the other, but I'm going to show you both. Just you might like the other one better. Okay. So if I had 5, now this is a different problem, 5 wholes and 1/8. And I was going to find the difference and subtract 3 3/8. Okay. Now, you notice if I was subtracting my fractional pieces, 1/8 minus 3/8, I can't do that, right? Just like normally when we have whole numbers, you can't take, if you don't have enough of something, you can't give more. You're going to have to regroup, right? So the same thing here is we're going to have to rename 5 1/8 as a mixed number with a fraction greater than 1. So we could change 5 1/8 to 4 plus 1, because that's the 5, and then plus 1/8. And then I would just change my 1 whole into 8/8. Right? Because whenever your numerator and your denominator are the same, it's the 1 whole. So now I'm looking at a fraction and a mixed number that would be 4 plus 8/8 plus 1/8. And then 8/8 plus 1/8 would be 9/8. and 4 wholes. So this 5 1/8 is the same as 4 9/8. And then I could just subtract this one. So in this situation, you could just do it with renaming the top number. And then you would just do 9/8 minus 3/8 is 6/8. And then 4 minus 3 is 1. So you get 1 6/8. And if you wanted to simplify it, you could. This is a lot of work. The other way that you can do it is by renaming both your mixed numbers and change them to fractions greater than 1 and then just subtract. I think that's a little bit easier. So I'm going to show you that way too. So I'm going on to the next problem on 430. So if I had 3 4/12 minus 1 6/12. So you go to do the problem, you see up 4/12 minus 6/12 I can't do. So what you could do is change both of your mixed numbers to improper fractions or fractions greater than 1, which we did all last week and you guys are doing really well with. So you can do, remember we said I do 12 times 3, okay, which is 36, and add 4, 37, 38, 39, 40. So I'm changing it to an improper fraction, 40/12. Okay? I'm going to do the same thing to the bottom one. 12 times 1 is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay? So 18/12. And then I could just do my subtraction, normal subtraction. Okay, 40/12 minus 18/12. Well, you could do 40 minus 18 over here on the side, right? 0 minus 8 I can't do. This, regroup it, becomes a 3. This becomes 10. 10 minus 8 is 2. And 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay, so 40/12 minus 18/12 is 22/12. Now, if you want to keep it like this, you can. Or if you want to go back to that mixed number, you could do that too. I will accept either. And if I do this, 12, it would be 22 divided by 12 would get me 1 whole with a remainder of 5. So it could be like 1 whole and 5/12. Again, I will accept either of those answers. Okay? All right, let's do a few more. I think when you rename both of them, I think it's going to be easier for you guys. So I'll do one more where I'm just renaming the first one, and then I'll do like 2 more renaming the second one. Okay. So let's see if I had, now this isn't in your book anymore, 3 wholes and 1/3 minus 2 wholes and 2/3. Okay, so the one way I could do it is I could just rename the first one into fractions with greater than 1. So I could do, this would be like 2 wholes plus 3/3. That's where I would get my 2 plus another whole would be that 3. And then plus 1/3. So that would mean that this is really like 2 wholes. And then 3 plus 1 is 4/3. And then we would just subtract 2 and 2/3 to keep the second one the same. 4/3 minus 2/3 is 2/3. So that's one way that you can look at it. Again, it's totally up to you guys. I'm giving you 2 different ways to do it. I think the majority of our class will probably like the other way. So I'm going to do, so I did 2 of those. I'm going to do like 2 more, maybe 3, where you have to just change it and make it a fraction greater than 1. I think that might be the easiest because you guys are doing well with that. So let's try another. If I had 2 1/4 minus 1 3/4. Okay. 1/4 minus 3/4 I cannot do. So let's just change both of our mixed numbers to fractions greater than 1. So remember, we do 4 times 2, which is 8, and then add 1, which is 9. So I have 9/4, and then this one would be 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7. 7/4. And then I could subtract 9/4 minus 7/4. 9 minus 7 is 2, and we're talking fourths. And again, I would take either that or half. Okay, let's try one more. 4 5/8 minus 2 7/8. Okay, so 5/8 minus 7/8 I cannot do. I'm going to change them both to fractions greater than 1. So 8 times 4, which is 32, plus 5, 37, right? 32, 4 times 8 is 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. Okay, 37/8. Okay, and then I'm going to have 8 times 2, which is 16, and then add 7. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23/8. And then I'm going to subtract. We know eighths we keep. And then 37 minus 23. If you want to do it over to the side, you can. 7 minus 3 is 4. And 3 minus 2 is 1. Now, I will accept it if you keep it like this, but you could also change it back to your mixed number. So 14 divided by 8 would be 8 times 1 would be 8, and then 8 times 2 is already 16, so it can only be 1. So 8, and then with a remainder of 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, with a remainder of 6. So this as a mixed number would be 1 whole and 6/8. Okay, again, I said I'll take either one. All right, so I think this is a little bit easier. There's less steps to do than just renaming the first one, my personal opinion. So try them, practice these, and I will see you guys later.